I am starting with the front pattern and I have some measurements marked on the paper. The first thing I have here is the button allowance of 1 inch by the side of the paper before the center front line. The length of this pattern is 26 inches. Like I said, I have a button allowance of 1 inch by the side of the paper. You need your button allowance on the front pattern. I have marked the bust measurements, the neckline and the armhole, and I have also marked the dart on the pattern. The dart I have there on the waistline is 1.5 inches. Now I'll go in with the waist measurements divided by 4. I'll mark that on the waistline and I'll replace that 1.5 inches for that and I'll mark it. At the hip line, I'll go in with the hip measurements divided by 4. I'll mark it and I'll connect the dots together. At the side hem, I'll go up by 1 inch. This is just to create a bit of curve on the side and I'll connect it into the hem line. I'll extend the dart line to the hem line and I'll go out by 0.25 on both sides to tighten the hem line and I'll connect it like you see me doing. The next step is to mark the bust dart. The bust dart is 2 inches and I'll mark it from the bust line and connect it into the bust point. To form the neckline, I'll bring in my curve and connect like you see me doing. I'll use my tape to measure what I have there from the chest line and I have about 1.5 inches. That means the distance from the neckline to the chest line is 1.5 inches. Please make sure that your neckline goes into the button allowance and the next step is to tighten the neckline. I will extend the nipple to nipple measurement to the neckline and I'll go out by ½ inch on both sides of the dart line and I'll connect it into the bust point. That is all on the front pattern. I'll cut it out now. For the back pattern, I also have some measurements marked on the pattern already. I have marked the neckline, the shoulder slope and the armhole. I have marked the bust measurements and the waist dart. I used 1 inch for the waist dart. And for the center back, I tightened it with 0.75. On the waistline, I'll go in with the waist measurements divided by 4. And we are going to replace the dart there, which is 1 inch. I'll replace that. At the hip line, I'll go ahead and mark the hip measurements divided by 4. For this back pattern, the length is 24 inches. I'll connect the dots together with my curved ruler. Just like we did with the front pattern, at the side hem, I'll go up by 1 inch and I'll connect it into the hem line. Also, I will extend the dart line into the hem line and I'll tighten it by 0.25 on both sides and I'll connect it to the waistline. For this back pattern, the neckline will be on the chest line. So I'm just going to tighten the chest line by 0.25 also and I'll connect it like you see me doing. These are all my pattern pieces for both the front and the back. These are the sides for both the front and the back, and you can see that it matches up properly. Make sure to close your bust dart on the pattern before transferring to fabric. That way you are sure that your pattern matches up properly before transferring to fabric. These are my two front pieces and I have transferred them to fabric. On this side I added ½ inch at the top, ½ inch on the other side, ½ inch, and at the bottom 1 inch. For this piece also on this side ½ inch, at the top ½ inch, for the side 1 inch, and at the bottom 1 inch. I'll take out my pattern now. I cut out 4 pieces, 2 pieces for the lining and 2 pieces for the main fabric. I added interfacing to the lining piece. On the side also, I have 2 pieces for the main fabric and 2 pieces for the lining, and I added interfacing to the lining piece. I'll pin the lining pieces first. I'll pin the side front to the center front on both sides, and I'll take it to the sewing machine and stitch with 0.5 inch. I'll repeat the same process for the other side. Make sure that the right side is facing each other and pin it together. Once I am done pinning the lining piece, I'll move to the main fabric. Just the same process. Make sure that the right side is facing each other. Go ahead and pin the center front to the side front and use 0.5 inch to stitch it, and do the same thing to the other piece. For the back piece, on this side, I added 0.5 inch, at the top 0.5, on this part also 0.5, and at the hem 1 inch. For the other piece also 0.5 inch there, at the top 0.5, on the side 1 inch, and at the hem 1 inch. I'll take out the patterns now so we can see what we have. I have cut out my lining piece also, 2 pieces for the main fabric and 2 pieces for the lining. The first thing I'm going to do is to stitch the center back first. This is after I was done stitching the center back for both the main fabric and the lining. After stitching, please make sure to press your seam flat. Now for the side pieces, I'll pin the lining first. Pin one side piece to the center back and pin the other piece to the other side. Go ahead and stitch with 0.5 inch. I'll do the same thing to the main fabric. Pin one side piece to the center back and pin the other side piece to the other side. Take it to the sewing machine and join it together with 0.5 inch. After stitching, please make sure to press your seam flat. This is what you should have after joining the back pieces. You are going to form one single piece with the back. I have the same thing for my lining piece. Make sure to press after stitching. And for the front pieces, this is what I have. I have also pressed it so that you can properly press the bust area. Use your tailor's arm. Place your tailor's arm underneath the bust area and press it flat. For the lining also, I have pressed it, and this is what we have for both pieces. So please make sure to press every part of the seam after stitching. I have fixed the welt pocket with flap here. I won't be including the tutorial in this video as I have a detailed tutorial on my channel on how to fix a welt pocket with flap. I'll put a link in the description box for you guys to watch it. It is very detailed. The next step is to join the front and the back together on the side. Place the two pieces together, making sure that the right side is facing each other. So take it to the sewing machine and join with the allowance you left on the side. I'll do the same thing for my lining piece. Join it together on the side. This is after joining both the main fabric and the lining. The next step is to join both the lining and the main fabric together. You are going to stitch from one end all the way around to the other end. All the way around to the other end. No part of this blouse will be opened. I am going to open a little space from the center back so that I can turn it to the right side from this little space after stitching. After I was done stitching around the blouse, I used hemming gum while pressing. So you can decide to stitch your hemming gum as you are stitching the blouse together so that by the time you flip it to the right side, the hemming gum will be there already and then you can just press it. But this is what we have for the blouse now. Don't forget to use the needle and thread to close that small space you have on the center back. The next step now is to fix the buttons. The buttons will be on the left side. You can do a space of 2.5 inches in between each of the buttons, while your buttonhole will be on the right side. Thank you guys for watching. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, leave a comment, share this video with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Please turn on your notification bell, the bell icon down below. Please turn it on so that you'll get notified anytime I upload a new video. The trouser you'll see at the end of this video, the tutorial is on the channel. I'll put the link in the description box. It will take you to the video. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.